Thank you for welcoming me onto your screens or onto headphones, depending how you're watching this. I'm Eddie, and this is The Rollback. Folks, today I'm here to talk to you about Hocus Pocus 2, aka the best Disney Channel film in like the last 15 years, I think. So just some real quick backstory. Back in 1993, when the OG Hex Girls first came out and was released into theaters, it was a complete bomb. Like, I think it lost Disney like $16 million, around that. So, initially, it was considered a flop, they let it go, whatnot. But, Hocus Pocus continued to be replayed on Disney Channel and ABC Family, now Freeform. In the years, as it kept going on rotation, especially around Halloween, it became a bigger and bigger hit, with solid sales in both DVD and VHS, about $1 million a year. In fact, it actually has the highest rating of any Disney film on a Halloween night, drawing a 2.8 million people to watch the film back in 2011. That's the highest they ever had for a film being watched on cable television on Halloween night. Now, that said, all that combined made them want to create Hocus Pocus 2. It became a cult hit. It was almost like forced upon. It became a Halloween tradition that people just began to clamor for more. Initially, you would assume that Hocus Pocus was just doomed to become another film in the annals of Mickey's history, but no, it became its own massive phenomenon. Now, initially, they did want to do this film, but they wanted to release it on the 25th anniversary back in 2018, but they could never get really into production. Instead, they released it on the 29th anniversary, which is a bit odd, but okay, fair enough. 29th year has come. Let's talk about Hocus Pocus 2. So, Hocus Pocus 2 cannot be made without the originals. Let's talk about, we got Winfrey, she's back. Sarah, played by Sarah Jessica Parker, she's back. And Mary, played by Kathy Minaj, I can't pronounce that, she's back too. All three of the original sisters are back, and that was one of the key things. All three only agreed to come back if the other two would be a part of it, if that makes sense. It was basically, you either get all three of us or you get none of us. And Disney, to their credit, actually brought back all three of the original cast members. I don't know what their contracts were. This is Disney Plus original film. Like, it came out strictly on the streaming service, but it works. And all three did come back. But they're not alone. We do have a supporting cast here. We do have Miss Whitney Peak playing Becky. Becca. She's the main character. She's a high schooler, a bit of a reject, a young witch, if you will. You know, crystals and all that jazz. We also have one Belissa Escobedo playing Izzy. Becca's best friend. I'm sorry. She also helps to accidentally conjure the Sanderson Sisters. And lastly, their third friend, who's kind of a Sarah. She's played by Lilia Buckingham, playing Cassie Track. She's the Sarah. She kind of leaves her group of friends, like there's like the three of them, but she kind of leaves them to hang out with a boy, which I am reliably told is a common trope nowadays. But nonetheless, you have the three Sanderson sisters. Now we have the three friends. They're gonna go toe to toe. Who will come out on top? We'll find out later on. Now, we do have one other original character returning. We have one Doug Jones playing Billy Butcherson. He does come back as the zombie. Still pretty funny, I'm not gonna lie. He had one of the funniest scenes in the film when his head popped off and he keeps talking trash. Still liked it. We do also have one Mr. Sam Richardson as Gilbert. He is coming back. He's not coming back, I'm sorry. He's an original character for the film. Kind of the conduit through which the sisters come back. He makes the situation happen. In addition to that, he was actually there the night that Sanderson Sisters were defeated back in 1993. Kind of made it his life's mission to bring them back, which is a bit odd. But okay, fair enough, I'll go with it. So let's be clear, this film only works with the original three back, and their quirkiness. They're over the top, but that's what's necessary. And somehow, it retained its charm. It shouldn't work, but this film does, because of the way they play these roles. And also, shout out to the three young actresses that played the Sanderson Sisters back in the 1600s. To a T, perfectly done. From the way they walk, the way they talk, and the way they act. Their mannerisms, like the way Winifred walks with her elbows out and stuff. It all works. Props to them for that. The comedy is actually pretty funny in this film at times. It got more than a few laughs out of me. But also, to their credit, they didn't overuse phones, apps, or modern day music. The one time an app is used is to make the sisters look young. It all works. It fits the world that they're trying to build. It fits the world that they're making for this film series. Also, this film feels like the movie from the 90s. We know for a fact that CGI has gotten better since the 90s. They could have made the effects look cleaner for the sisters when they fly in their brooms, but it looked sloppy. But I mean that in the best way possible. It looked still like the way they did it back in the 90s in that fashion. So props to them for that. I do appreciate that. This film had a feel and the look of a 90s film, or a 90s Disney Channel film, if that makes sense. This film also, if we're being honest, had no right to have the amount of heart that it did. Which, I mean, the big part at the very end of the film when Winifred claims ultimate power, but at the cost of her two sisters, props, man. Like, it was sad. She even said, ultimate power is nothing if I don't have my sisters with me. That even when they bug the shit out of you, it's that siblingness. Even when you're pissed off, you love each other. So for her to feel like that, it's heartwarming and nice. I like it. Also, the whole trope of a girl leaves her friends for a boy is kind of funny, and it's new to me, so it's new. The three friends hold up for the most part. Becca and Izzy's relationship, solid. I want to see more from the crappy friend, Cassie. I want to see more from Cassie. Possibly in future installments, which the way that this film ends, you can assume there will be a future installment made. The film kind of ends ambiguously, kind of hinting that Sanderson Sisters may be brought back. With Rebecca from Ted Lasso being in this film, I'm willing to bet that they're either going to make a film series or a sequel where Rebecca is kind of like the teacher to the new kids. Or I could be completely wrong. I'm not sure, but the fact of the matter is that the original three actresses came with their working boots on, and they had a blast, and you can tell. Cons, I mean, really only OG fans will love this movie. Y'all have been waiting for 29 years for the sequel. I hope you enjoy it, but I hope it's not another 29 years until we get the next one. Also, again, there were a lot of complaints online that there wasn't more Rebecca in this film. Give it time. I'm willing to bet she will come out later on in the series. That said, this movie ending is solid, and it locks this film in as a solid installment and something worth watching. Especially during the Halloween season. It's not too scary for kids, but it's fun enough for adults to enjoy as well. Personally, I give it a B. But what did you think? Did you love this film? Did you hate it? Tell me more about it in the comments down below. That said, I've been Eddie, and this was The Rollback. We'll see you, everybody.